So this week is just finishing up the the end ribs for the fuel tanks. You'll see here momentarily I was doing some searching on my phone. Turns out that I had to buy a set of crow's foot open-end wrenches for the torque wrench. It's really difficult to get into the fuel tanks to torque the bolts and the nuts for the vent line so that it makes that fitting properly inside the fuel tank. So had to go to Harbor Freight and buy some tools. Worked out perfectly fine. And if you're using a crow's foot, don't forget when you're doing the torque calculations that you have to do a proportion of what the new length is of the torque wrench as opposed to the original length of the torque wrench. So I think the torque specs were anywhere between 50 and 65 for those bolts for the vent lines. With the added length of the crow's foot, I ended up setting the torque wrench to 44 to end up with about a 50 inch-pound rating on the torque. So just mixing up the last batch to put the Pro Seal onto that last inboard rib rear for getting that tank sealed up and getting the ends boxed in. Beyond that, I did use about 40 grams of material, 44 of the hardener, with the hardener, to be able to do all of this stuff that I had, basically just touch up stuff before I was all done. And if you remember, I had to refabricate the little clips on the front of the fuel fill flange caps so that I could get those snap bushings in place to hold the vent line properly. So I had to do that along with some other cleanup stuff. And I also wanted to refortify the Pro Seal on the leading edge of those end ribs as well to make sure that that was nice and sealed up. I did have a difficult time there. You saw using the double offset for driving those 470 rivets on the tank attached bracket. Difficult to get to, hard to get into with a bucking bar, but I was able to get those done. Just challenging. Wish it had gone smoother, but at the end of the day, got the finished result that I wanted. So I started working on the fuel level senders here, and I made the mistake of using the dimensions on the cut sheet that they send you, as opposed to realize that the dimensions that you're supposed to use for the RV-10 tanks is in the book. So don't make the same mistake that I made, and make sure that you're using the right dimensions that are actually in the book, as opposed to that one-page leaflet that they send you when you order those from Vans. So I'll have to buy another one. They're only about 45 bucks a pop, so no big deal. I'll order that this week and I'll get it replaced. Other than that, we'll see you next week.